Trump, we have a big scoop. Pam Bondi will soon leave her job as the Attorney General. It does seem like they want her to go and do something else. And in an interim role, she will be replaced by Todd Blanche, who is currently her deputy at the Justice Department. So it doesn't sound like Blanche is being elevated long-term to the Attorney General. There might be somebody else that the president wants to go in there.
Law professor Jonathan Turley. And Jonathan, big news breaking at the moment. What do you make of it?
Well, in some ways, this is a signature move by the president. For those who have covered the president for 2 terms, and now in the 2nd term, he is someone who was famous for his phrase of "you're fired," and he views a turnover in staff as a way of sort of priming the keg, you know, trying to move things along. What is surprising about this action is that Pam Bondi was a true loyalist. I mean, she has been consistently by his side in the thick of it, from impeachment to fighting the early fights in this administration.
Hey, Kenneth, President Trump called Pam Bondi a patriot and a loyal friend, but says she will be moving on to a role outside of the administration. Deputy AG Todd Blanche will lead the Justice Department for the time being. Now, in a statement, Bondi says she remains grateful for the president and that over the next month, quote, I will be working tirelessly to transition the office of the Attorney General to the amazing Todd Blanche before moving on to an important private sector role I am thrilled about. You know, he has expressed frustration in the past over the Justice Department's handling of the Epstein files, as well as failure to prosecute his perceived political enemies.
Wow. So, looks like the story Fox is running with is he didn't like the way she handled the Epstein files. I don't know how much better she could have done for him in that case. For us, it was bullshit. But for him, it was a good deal because she was down. Man, what a crazy thing. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. You're watching the Gabriel Speaks podcast, and we're doing a news episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done that before. Really appreciate it. So these news ones are interesting because every time I start looking up, you know, I mean, I guess I look at current events briefly every day, but when I start looking for it more in depth into stories, it just gets more and more disturbing. The Epstein thing, Pam Bondi was able to withhold. They're still being withheld, we believe, 3 million plus documents pertaining to the Epstein files. But she's not doing a good enough job for you. So they're going to put Todd Blanche in charge, which is another wrecked automobile you're trying to put onto the road. I'm not sure what private venture she's talking about, but it's interesting that it says she got fired, but I'm super stoked for my next job.
This just in, President Trump issuing a powerful warning shot to the Iranian terror regime moments ago alongside a video. Here's what he said. The biggest bridge in Iran comes tumbling down, never to be used again. Much more to follow. It is time for Iran to make a deal before it is too late, and there is nothing left of what still could become a great country. Laura, we're about to see the video here. You see the biggest bridge in Iran. Look at that.
Yeah.
Just tumbling. What a warning.
Well, by the way, this has been something that we've never seen before. The way the president has used videos, footage from all of these different attacks that the United States has done, you know, there in Iran, I think has actually been really powerful.
America are achieved on that battlefield. This is not Iraq and Afghanistan. This is not a president who's interested in vague end states. He's been very clear with us about what we need to accomplish, creating the conditions for them never to have a nuclear capability, and that's exactly what we're doing in historic fashion. Thank you, Mr. President.
So we have two ousters today, this time from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He has asked Army Chief of Staff General Randy George to leave his post. George is the Army's most senior general. A defense official says Hegseth asked General George to retire immediately. Now, the ouster comes as the U.S., of course, is battling Iran. Joining me now is Hal Kempfert, a familiar face around here, and on Live Now, a national security analyst, also a retired U.S. Marine. Thank you, and thank you for your service. Let's just get your reaction to this. Is this really a big deal?
Well, Marla, it's a deal. I mean, normally when you become a service chief or a chairman of the Joint Chiefs or the vice chair, normally those are 4-year terms.
Yeah, normally those are 4-year terms. In the middle of a war, to get rid of, and this wasn't just any general, he was chief of staff of the Army. I mean, when you're in the Army, that is the guy. He's the top dog, chief staff of the Army. So to let him go, amongst all of this noise about Iran, it makes you wonder. That's all I'm saying. Because maybe the general was saying, hey, maybe this isn't a ground invasion we want. And Hegseth and Trump being the forever my way or the highway could have just pushed him out. Now, that's complete speculation. But if I were to read between the lines, I would say that's probably what happened. Is the general was concerned about whatever they're putting together for this ground invasion. I don't know what you want to call it, but we've got troops on the ground already. And we've got troops in the sea and on the air and the way. And perhaps the general was saying, this plan you guys are cooking up, it's not a good one. You know, are we just going to end up in Iraq #2? Or worse, Vietnam #2? The thing is, when we went into Iraq, those cats were waving anything white that they could find. And then once we disbanded their army, they became guerrilla insurgents. Iran will not lay down their weapons. I can confidently say that. And we know because as soon as we made our first strike against Iran, we had to deal with missile attacks at all of our bases in the area. Immediately. So this isn't like a regime or a military that's going to go quietly into the night. They're going to make a fight of it. They're going to fight every inch of the way. In fact, we've got the leader of Iran, the current leader of Iran here, we believe. Let's take a look.
Is threatening to escalate attacks against the United States and Israel. In a statement carried on state television, an army spokesperson said the war would continue until the humiliation and surrender of its enemies.
In continuation of the heavy and severe blows you have received so far, expect even stronger and await our more crushing and more destructive actions. The facilities you have targeted so far are insignificant, and our strategic military production takes place in locations of which you have absolutely no knowledge and which you will never be able to reach.
Now, Tahir Desadi joins us live from Tehran. It's the obvious question, but I have to ask it. How has Trump's speech been received in Iran?
Very obviously, Iranians are having several considerations when it comes to this recent statement from the U.S. President Donald Trump. And the first obvious point in that regard is actually the very fact that they are used to dancing with the same old tune when it comes to this threatening rhetoric by the U.S. president, not only from the very beginning of this war, but also from the very day one of his previous administration. They are very much familiar with this threatening language, and this is part of that. The other part is actually sort of ambiguity that could be perceived here in Tehran after.
So, like I said, you see their commanders there. Sure, could they be? Could this all just be showmanship and bullshit? It could be, or it could not be. War is never good for anyone, and like I hate the fact that we have been dragged once again, clawing and screaming into the Middle East to get involved with a fight that quite honestly is not ours. And if I piss people off, that's just my feeling. I think war is a terrible thing. And when you are at war, the things that happen are terrible. I mean, there's nothing good about it. It's why it's one of the reasons Trump won. People were done with this shit. Fucking Afghanistan, Iraq. Now Iran. It's a bummer because honestly, my opinion on the matter is that they have been wanting us to do this. And when I say they, what I'm speaking about are very wealthy individuals in the oil business, very wealthy politicians, and very wealthy Pentagon officials, or those that have become rich off of Pentagon and contracting deals. These people are the war profiteers. And they love this shit. You look at the amount of growth, economic growth in Virginia. Because what's happening is all the contractors, all the war contractors, are moving to Virginia to be closer to the intelligence and other groups that negotiate these contracts. And so then the local economy grows because you have all these contractors who are making a lot of money. They're spending money, and that helps the local economy grow. So you've got this whole thriving community going on that wouldn't be there without war. Man, it just makes you wonder the decisions we make sometimes. And the thing about Trump in particular is I must come across as a Trump hater, but I'm not. What I'm not happy about is that he was supposed to keep us out of this shit. And instead, he's putting men and women in harm's way for something that Iran, quite frankly, wasn't even close to. If you remember, like, he told us in June that we obliterated the fucking nuclear program, right? We had, he used that word, obliterated. We obliterated the nuclear program. Kapooey, obliterated it. Well, if we obliterated it, what the fuck are we doing now? We blew up a school. Y'all, we blew up a fucking school. That's not good. And I would look, I'm a supporter of our military, of course. Of course. It's the guys that get to decide what they're doing right now, I'm not sure about. Maybe if they had to, like, I don't know, maybe Trump wouldn't care about sending his kids in. But one of these other people, if one of these other hawks, if you will, had to send one of their kids in, you wonder if they'd be so ready to go fight for oil. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. For 50 years, this special interest group has wanted us to go in and invade Iran and build pipelines all through the oil pipelines, all through the Middle East, right down to the Bay, right down to the Strait of Hormuz there. And they figure the easiest way to do that is we take over Iraq, we take over Iran. And what's so crazy about these people is they don't care about any of the people that live in these countries. They don't even care about the people that live in their own countries, typically. It's sad. I was talking with a friend the other day, and I was saying it's sad how, like, so much innovation, so much of our innovation has been designing new ways to annihilate each other. I mean, holy smokes. Yeah, Ron thinks gold and silver drop. Very interesting. I could see that happening. Yeah, that's the thing about China and Taiwan is, like, we don't even know if China was going to make a move. Wouldn't be a bad time to do so. We're kind of busy. And we're also using a lot of ammunition. We're sending a ton of it to Ukraine. We're shooting off more Tomahawks than we should in Iran. I mean, they can only produce like 400 of these a year or something like that. Some ridiculous number. It's not a ton. And we're shooting them off over in Iran like we got unlimited supply. It's just not the case. And then when you're not using the Tomahawks because you've run out of those, then you're using missiles that whole pinpoint accuracy phrase might not be there with some of these, right? It's pretty accurate, but not all the way. It's war. You know, a school blows up, a school blows up. Yeah, covering the news is tough for me, y'all. Because I'm an empathetic person, and I know the horrors. It's like we're on the other side of this ocean, and so we just don't quite experience it here. experienced terrorist attacks. We've absolutely experienced violent attacks, you know, shooters, rampage attacks. We definitely have experienced that. But we haven't experienced missiles above us with the intention of striking us, and had to have our anti-missile defense system shot. I mean, you can watch the videos of what happens over Iran all the time now. It's absolutely crazy, and we just don't experience that here. And that separation from that, it must make it easier for us to stomach, because it's almost like they're able to put war into this category of, well, that's just, we're always going to be at war with somebody, right? That's just the deal now. War is welfare. You know, we built a plane for like $1 billion that didn't work for like almost 2 decades. They knew it didn't work. They're still building it because of the contract, but they knew it didn't work. And it took presidential authorization, a signature by the president, to stop that program. That's welfare. If you're building shit that doesn't work, or shit we can't use because it doesn't work, and you're getting paid, what is that? What a world, man. So, like I said, I've always said, I try to show both sides. So we heard the kind of the American story, both sides from the American story to start out with. There is definitely a portion of America that is not for this, and there's a portion that is. It's like any other issue. I am never for a war, but I am for supporting troops and our soldiers. And I think that's the important thing, no matter what. It's the decision makers, right? So these decision makers have our troops in a fucking quandary right now, because, as I was saying, if we send in ground forces to Iran, and if you're not familiar with it, you can look up a little skirmish that happened between Iraq and Iran several years ago. And the soldiers from Iran, unarmed because they did not have enough weapons, were charging at the soldiers of Iraq who were armed with weapons. That is the enemy that that these troops would be facing, that we will be facing. I'm not saying they're going to win. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is there's going to be a cost. There's going to be a cost. And are you okay with your kid going over there? That's the bottom line. And if you're okay with your kid going over there, then right on. Do it. Fight some battle that you have nothing to do with. People you would have never met your entire life. Oh, what's up, Tracy? Love seeing you here. Tracy says, regarding Nandi's replacement being Trump's lawyer. Oh, I'm going to guess you meant Bondi. Bondi's replacement being Trump's lawyer. Isn't it just perfect that now all of Epstein's mates will walk free? Oh, and Trump will probably also set Madam G free as well. Oh, you know that's coming, right? You know that he is going to pardon her like last month or two in office. It's definitely happening. 100%. He already got her in the pound puppy prison. Oy, 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 these people, y'all. Okay, so as I was saying, we saw the Fox News, we saw the Al Jazeera. Now this is, oh, who is this? Oh, okay, this is Trump's speech from 2 nights ago. No, last night, I believe. Which I have not watched. So we'll check this out here. At least I guess about 18 minutes.
Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift.
It's like, when did that happen? Like, at what point were we like, we've got to stop Iran or they're going to blow us up? Like, when did that ever happen? Listen, y'all. Listen to me. All right? We had a fucking war on terror. George Bush had a blank check. He had 90% support with whatever he would have wanted to do. Okay? And he used that capital on Iraq. And when they tried to push him into Iran, he said no. There are tens of millions of people that live in Iran. And they are not going to lay down. And, also, we just abducted a president. That just happened, right? Like, who the fuck? What country goes and kidnaps another country's president? What in the fuck? It's incredible. Okay, I'm sorry. We're like 2 minutes in. I'm already losing my mind. I'll calm down, y'all, I promise.
Decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before.
Well,
Tonight,
not you, because you didn't
Iran's
serve.
Navy is gone. Their air force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary.
Yeah, that's another thing, y'all. When you do serve, you get to sit through these Geneva Convention meetings. And you learn all about the quote-unquote rules of war. And they tell you, you can't just assassinate another country's leader. That is against the rules of war. You can't do it. Just like it's against the rules to dress up a bunch of soldiers like they're medics when they aren't. And then infiltrate somewhere and make an attack unsuspecting, because you're not supposed to attack medical units, right? So there are rules to war. And one of them says, you're not supposed to kill a country's leader. And in the last few months, we have kidnapped one and killed one. And we've tried to kill the second one in Iran. This was the guy that said he wasn't going to get us into war. What the fuck is going on? Anybody, if you can clarify this about how this makes sense to me, I would love it, because it makes no fucking sense. None. What's up, Fletcher? Love seeing you, buddy. Sorry. These people have got...
Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are...
Never before has flak Baghdad...
Lies.
Never before have we seen a guest on a show such as Flak Magnet. It's amazing. It's huge. He's huge.
The
Flak,
best,
what's up,
he's
buddy?
the best Flak Magnet we've got. Good evening.
What's going on, man?
I see we're up to this. We're up to this shenanigans.
Dude. I'm over here losing my mind on this guy. It's funny how he's so brave, but he couldn't get past that flat foot problem to get into the military. But I digress. Now, have you watched this yet? Have you watched this speech?
I tried to get through it. I couldn't. It was very infuriating.
Dude, I'm at 213, and I've stopped it 2 or 3 times already and lost my mind nearly. So we'll see if we can't get through this.
Losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world, and now we're working along with Venezuela.
So, yeah, I don't know if you heard this, sir, but he built the military his first term, and then Biden tried to destroy the military in his term, and then Trump came back and used the military that he built to fight wars that he said he wasn't going to fight, apparently.
New armies are my favorite armies because they don't have any of those wacky old things the old armies have.
Right. They have less mileage.
Way less mileage. Hey, aren't they also asking retired age military folk to re-sign back in?
Yes.
I wonder if that counts.
Yeah. Well, they raised the age. So I think you can go down and volunteer in your 40s now.
Well, you could have done that too. You can be a 70-year-old officer just working in strategy and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
sure.
depending
Weekend
upon
warrior.
capacity, right? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
because I forgot one of my friends who I was talking to recently was telling me that like they also raised the age for doing that kind of capacity too.
Yeah, you can do that shit. I ain't fucking with that shit. Now when Trump's president, he'll have me fucking jumping out of a plane, invading Swahili or some shit.
Dude,
like, what the fuck is he doing, dude?
Drone backpacks. They'll fly you from here straight to Iran in one shot. You know what I mean? You just strap it on, it'll float you on over. You know?
I don't know if you saw when I had Louise on, but Louise was like, dude, he goes and he attacks and busts shit up in the Strait of Hormuz and causes all these issues. And then he's like, goes to NATO and he's like, well, you need to help me fix it. Like, what the fuck? That you went in there without us, dude, and fucking blew a bunch of shit up and broke it, and now you want us to come and fix it. If they were allies, they would. You're not a real ally. You're a fake ally.
Get me out of all my bullshit that I caused myself.
What the fuck? But I mean, again, I could bring up the graphic, but this is the guy that has filed multiple bankruptcies and multiple businesses. One of them, he filed bankruptcy twice at the same business. Yeah. So.
How long in between?
Oh, I think it was like whatever the mandatory was. 7 years, boom, filed it again or some shit like that. It was pretty funny.
Crazy. I didn't know that was like two of the same.
Yeah, dude. He's fucking bankrupted a bunch of companies, man. And like I said, one of them twice. And he's like, he's going to fix America.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, I know it is a business strategy. Like, you can shutter things and make money on it. Kind of like the plot of the Producers movie and in Broadway show. But, like, to think you could do that twice with the same company and not have the fucking IRS or the government, somebody poking around is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, Tracy, what's up? Fletch, what's up? Psionic, what's up? Roy, what's good?
Yeah, it is hilarious.
Ron,
He arted the deal. He was handing out fake degrees for a while, remember? And then he was selling steaks.
Yeah, but the director of the ethics ad, I think it was like Harvard, was like, she get her role by using AI to like plagiarize a bunch of stuff. So like even the real degrees are fucked. Yeah, dude. She plagiarized her thesis to get her in, and then she got caught afterwards and got tossed out.
To get your masters or your doctorates, you got to do a thesis.
That's like, well, what would you have to do to? I don't know. Look up her thing, but she was the one who got the role by plagiarizing, and then was removed because she plagiarized.
Wow. Holy shit, dude. So what did you think of the Bondi firing?
I'm hoping it's real, but this could just be a firing is better than retiring. I think if you retired, it'd be harder to charge. But if she's fired, that proves incompetence, and maybe there's some liability there.
So I've heard two stories, and I showed them both here because you hear two different stories. They both came out today. One said she's taking another job just at a different capacity in the DOJ. And another one said she tweeted that she was going to help the transition team, and then she was going to take a job in the private sector.
Yeah, so who the hell's going to hire her? She's like mildly retussed in the brain. Like, how dare you? Like, she takes 15 minutes to process her own thought.
Do you know the stock market? Record has.
Dude, she talks like someone from a totally different tax bracket. Like, one will never understand. Yeah. Like, I don't think she's ever met a person of color, let alone anyone who's had a suntan. You know?
Yeah. You're probably right, though, Fletcher. She probably is one of the many scapegoats we'll see as this plays out. I would not be surprised. She's going to be one of the many once we start getting down to the nitty-gritty.
I don't even know how much of a scapegoat she can be because she was there in the fucking beginning. Like when the sweetheart deal was in, she was in power in Florida. Like in Palm Beach too. So all that shit would have passed through her desk. So it's not like she only just now heard of Epstein's name, you know?
Yeah, and it's funny to watch them try to play like hot potato with, whose fault it is. It's like, it's all your fault, you fuckers. All of you. It's all of you. It's not like one of you that was in charge of this little portion of it for a little bit. No, it's all of you fuckers that touched it and didn't take care of it. Fuck exactly. All of you.
And exactly, Tracy, because that's what I'm talking about. Like, maybe because she was fired, hopefully there's there's no immunity. There's like some kind of plausibility that's held to account.
Yeah. Man, what a crazy time. So she's, I guess, technically fired, but will be moving on either to another position at the Department of Justice or to the private sector. That's apparently the news now. We can't get a straight story.
Well, did you hear what was it, the FBI or the CIA guy who frequents Alex Jones' show, Seraphim? He was saying something about Kash Patel getting out too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I knew Kash Patel was going to get fired the second they said they hired him. I was like, oh, he's not going to last. Then he's taking,
Well, I blame everybody. It's because
Shots
we
in the
all
locker
in
room.
unison didn't trust him, bro. And
Listen,
that's exactly why.
there's nothing with partying with the USA hockey team and taking shots in the locker room and being pumped about that. Nobody would blame you for that, except you're the fucking FBI director, dude.
Did you hear the head of the DOJ just did a press release where he was saying, like, no, I said what I said in July and we're not prosecuting anyone. There's no evidence in the files. Like, they're not going after anybody now. Like other countries are, but we are not. Like, how fucking pathetic is that, dude? Like Trump, what the fuck, dude? You are
that's the
feckless
thing.
idiot.
You think he decided that? He didn't decide it.
No, he didn't decide it, but he facilitated it. He facilitated it. He made sure that there would be, like, the second he came out and was like, forget about it. Forget about it. It's a hoax. Fuck off.
Right, it's a hoax. And then Pam Bondi already released all the credible information, quote unquote. Anything credible is out. If it's credible. So long as it's credible. It's like, oh, okay. That's the game we're playing.
Well, we found credible stuff like all throughout our investigation. You know what I mean?
God.
Like how many witnesses were not questioned, or not even questioned, but like asked to testify.
I had to put the little anti-nausea patch behind my ear for some of those episodes. I mean, I told you about my panic attack at a cannibal movie. We had that conversation. Yes. And then that jerky episode, I was a little worried. Sucked it up. We got it done.
Like,
twice.
It's just nuts, though, that, like, I mean, we're seeing clear evidence of, like, just bad behavior all over the board, and then we're seeing the evidence trail with all the money. Like, I don't know. I also found about 15 different trusts. Like, he had Butterfly Trust. He had,
but
Epstein
there's like,
Trust
there's
1.
not enough to like get them. You know what I mean? They made sure like there's not enough to get them.
No, there is. Like
maybe in the additional files.
No. I found enough stuff. But like we covered enough stuff. Like that's enough to cause an investigation to where like this is all evidence too, though. This is the thing. It's already past scrutiny. The stuff that's in here has already been like it's passed.
And they're
the muster.
saying there's no case.
So it's bullshit. That's why Poland was like, we're going to go through this and prosecute based on this evidence. Because it's not only files, this is gathered by the FBI and passed through their hands, passed through every other law enforcement's hands that had this, you know?
Yeah. All I'm saying is, if I have a son that gets drafted to fight a fucking war that might have been started as a distraction, I will lose my fucking mind. I will lose my mind.
See, I wish you were
and
following.
The next time you hear my name, you'll hear my name.
I wish you were following the Candace Owens Erica Kirk thing, right? Because she is right now going through all of the
Christian Kirk's
tax record for Charlie's TPUSA
Charlie
stuff.
Kirk,
He's finding,
that's right, yeah.
And this is where she's coming through with like actionable intelligence. The years and months before, there is like a dead stall in certain, I guess, a fundraising and money inflow into certain companies. Some of these are military-tied intelligence companies that then get a huge influx from like Bibi Netanyahu and certain individuals, like by the millions, right? Like within weeks or a month before the incident that happened, and then you start to see people behind the scenes moving around real funny. So I mean, like,
well, did you see the latest forensics information?
Yep, but it's bullshit anyway.
No clear link between Charlie Kirk bullet and rifle found near scene, and that
this is the thing,
ATF.
right? 2007, they decided they weren't going to be using the lead analysis, right? Because once it hits a thing, it disintegrates. Plus, there's too many variables within the bullet making thing, so that the lead wouldn't match. It wouldn't be able to be batch oriented to anything, you know. So they had to take that off, and that's no longer a piece of FBI scrutiny, right? But they're going to be bringing it back for this case, right? They're going to be looking for lead composite tests, which is bullshit.
Yeah, it is fucking bullshit. All right, well, let's listen to some more fucking bullshit. Asshole.
Venezuela are in a true sense joint
Fucking
venture
hate this
partners.
guy.
We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil.
And I want to be clear. If it was Kamala Harris doing this right now, I'd be saying the same exact fucking thing. I hope y'all understand by now. I think both sides are completely full of shit. And I think 98% of what we see is political fucking theater. It's just nonsense to keep us at each other's throats. But war is fucking real. And our young men and women fucking die. Sometimes like in not so great ways. It should be like the absolute last fucking resort. And if you tell me you obliterated a nuke site and a country's ability to make nuclear weapons so they're no longer a threat, and then 6 months later, we might do a ground invasion. Oh, we're doing a ground invasion. We're doing it, folks.
How dumb is that? Do they want to fight a land war in China? Do they also then want to go into invade Russia via Siberia? Is he retarded?
It's like he hasn't read a history book. Oh, wait, he probably hasn't.
That's such a dumb thing to do. Like, why throw our men into the shredder like that?
It's bullshit, man. And they'll do they will do a good job. You told them, dude, they kidnapped the president of a country, bro.
Well, we saw war in Ukraine.
They're very capable.
Right? How are you going to be capable against drone warfare, which Iran and everybody's over there that's all they have is drones.
That's a whole nother game.
How do you fucking prevent that? You being trained by the military and you knowing what you got to look out for normal war-wise, how the fuck do you deal with drones? Now,
Well, every squad is going to have an anti-drone guy. You know, they're going to have an anti-drone weapon guy. At least one. That's how you'd have to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's just one more fucking thing.
I just can't imagine Russia not having that, right? And like I'm not a fan of Russia either. I don't care that if they win or lose. That's the Russians care about that. That's fine for them.
Well, we're sending Ukraine the ammo.
Well, I'm only asking this because I imagine that Russia cares enough to be up to date on their military training and shit. Just like their pilots in their Air Force has like a fucking Gen 5 fighters, so supposedly, you know what I mean? Like, so I'd think that they would have an anti-drone unit, but we still saw all that shit with those fucking drones still killing people.
Well,
and I don't mean like the Tomahawk drones or anything like that. Like I mean, or like the Predator drones, I should say, Tomahawk's missile. But the Predator drones, like I'm talking about like the $150 looking ones that are just killing
right. You can get
like
a Walmart.
One individual. Yeah, like it looks like that connected to an IED or something.
Yep. Yeah, they're doing it, dude. I mean, I've one of my episodes, I have some footage of some of the stuff that's come out of Ukraine as far as drone attacks and shit like that on video, and it's crazy. It's out of control.
I kind of avoid that because it's a little too gory, but
well, I don't show the blooding. What I show is I stop it right before the impact.
Well, yeah. It's just because how close it fucking gets. You know what I mean? Like that shit.
It's uncomfortable.
Is pretty rough.
Like you see a guy turn around and it's like, oh, he had a bad day.
I just get a little too I put myself in those shoes a little too often.
Yeah.
It just puts me in I get fucking tense in the gut. I start to get anxiety from those situations for some reason.
Bro, this is what's happening, and we are asking our young men and women to go jump in the middle of that fucking hellhole.
Well, what I've been watching was this will be cool because this will be my little mention other YouTube channels. Tal Mouse, which is a group of guys. One of them's a retired law enforcement But they shoot shotguns mostly into like gelatin things, and they do a lot of ballistics tests on experimental shotgun shells, which is cool as hell. So they do a lot of like independent makers of these things. Like it's just cool because they I know what a flechette is, and I know all sorts of shit just because we're watching the show.
I keep 5 slugs in, and then I got a thing that has 5 slugs and 5 bird shot on the barrel, on the handle, I mean.
Oh, that's all right. So I'll send you a couple cool videos because they test all sorts of wacky new experimental shit, and some of it's insane. But they have some anti-drone stuff where it looks like
yeah, dude, they got there's like little guns, or well, they're big guns, but yeah, they got them.
Well, this is for a shotgun, so you can have
like
just
an
a couple
actual
of
round you put in a
like a
shotgun?
slug. Well, it's not exactly like a slug. It looks like a slug, but once it's shot, it turns out into like these slices where it's like a pizza pie that is cut into like these triangles that can go out. And the coolest part, it's connected to a Kevlar rope so that it spins around whatever like blades are there, and it works every fucking time. Right, like because they're the slices and they're connected by the rope, they all just go in that general direction of momentum anyway. So they spread and they fucking catch it, which is so fucking cool, dude. But you still gotta be quick with that shit because those things are fast as hell. You know, let's say you get it, but it's like it's still 10 feet away from you. You got that momentum of that thing still coming at your ass 100 fucking miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well, I was saying at the start of the show, you know, it's kind of crazy. Like if you look at it, some of our biggest innovations
Fletch nose tail fighter mouse. Hell yeah,
are how to kill each other, you know? Like we innovate some unimaginable shit to kill each other with. You know, hypersonic missiles. That shit should be for traveling, right? No.
Yeah,
we're gonna blow people up with it.
Well, they got the ship for torpedoes, which check this out. Like so laser guided can mean 2 things. Underwater, if they use lasers, like a heated laser at the tip, cavitates the water in front, so it moves way fucking quicker. Just the tip, but it forces an air bubble in front of the torpedo so that it creates a bubble, so there's less friction around the torpedo. So imagine you have one that's able to go like, I don't know, 50 knots. You just created the ability to go 125. You know, way quieter too, because you're not getting that the same kind of issues you would where the nose cone of the torpedo is having to rip through the water. You're getting what would essentially be a vacuum right in front of it, pulling it forward quicker. Very cool.
Yeah, and the Japanese were the first that had like a gyroscope on their torpedoes, so they were much more accurate with their torpedoes than we were, for sure, until we stole the technology. All right, let's get back to the speech. Let's see if we can make it.
Oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies.
We have our own reserves within the United States, within Texas. You know, like there was that massive oil patch. I mean, like think about the tar pits in California. We've got oil. Okay,
oil is a commodity that gets controlled to keep the price up because we have so much of it.
Why were we ever dependent on the middle? Think of that. Just the logic
we didn't want to use ours.
Well, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, just think on the logic. We here in a very abundantly resource-rich nation are dependent upon the Middle East. Like that just doesn't pass through logic when you think about it on that one. To admit it and then to now brag about our independence is such a pitiful fucking thing in the first place, right? The fact that we, like, first off, they are not dependent on us anymore. They dropped our fucking petrodollar. So he's trying to like spin something that doesn't even pass the logic test. He's a fucking shit weasel for trying to do it that way. They don't want anything to do with us because of how shitty we are. What we did to fucking Russia only made Russia a way stronger fucking ally with the Middle East. Why do we do this? You know, like, and then we're this is the whole thing. This is what I'm worried about. We're gonna expend a fuck ton of resources in Iran, like pretty goddamn quick, and then Russia is gonna take advantage with China on its back. You know, like, we can't fight a front on fucking 3 wars, you know, as much as Israel would like us to.
Man, that's the thing, right? And if you say anything like that, oh, you anti-Semite, you
dude,
son of a bitch.
So now let me also make this a bitty caveat, because I got screamed at in Spaces about how because I stood up.
Spaces, referring to X Spaces for the folks
and this
that
is
don't
from
X.
friends just
remember,
so
not
know,
everybody is on the Twitters.
So I got screamed at by a bunch of friends, right? And they're still friends. I want people to know that your opinion in politics and whatever doesn't have any bearing on our friendship. We can be friends.
Right.
We can differ in opinion, and
Yeah,
it's totally cool. But they were railing at me because I wasn't behind the war with Iran, and I said, well, you know what? Like, I was raised in a certain way that one of the commandments was "Thou shalt not kill." You know, and I don't believe that killing children equates to killing for my own freedom, especially if the children are all the way the fuck over there. And then someone was like, well, you know that was just the children of the leaders that were over there. And I said, that's despicable to think of it like that. I was like, what if they did the same, right? And you found out the propaganda over there is that your child died because it went to the same school as a fucking senator's kid. Like it doesn't pass the commandment test, let alone like human compassion. Like you're now coming up with excuses to
listen. When I was in, there were guys. It was right before we went into Iraq, and there were guys that agreed with it, and there were guys that didn't agree with it. But at the end of the day, you follow your fucking orders. You do what they tell you to do. And that's why we're the best and we're the strongest. And our military will succeed no matter what they have to do. But I'm not in that shit anymore. So now I can be critical of it. And same with you. You're not in it. And so same with every other citizen that has the right to vote and everything else. Like, we can be critical of a fucking war, for God's sakes. If we can't be critical and argue about the merits of a war, what the fuck are we doing here?
And what good is the fucking the ability to complain about it after the fact, right? Like that's how the government wants it. Just you keep your mouth shut during.
Right.
What the fuck good is it to do after the fact if nothing's
because that's worked out every
time
before, right, Flack?
They like to have us think so, you know, like
because we left
like
Afghanistan in such a wonderful way, and we left Vietnam in such a wonderful way. And we left Korea in such a oh wait, we didn't leave Korea. We still defend the border between North and South Korea from invasion. So we're still in Korea, folks. We're still in Germany. We're still all over the fucking globe. We're everywhere. In fact, when we said we left Iraq, we've had 50,000 troops in Iraq ever since we quote left Iraq. Because we have 2 of the largest U.S. embassies in the fucking world in the middle of Iraq.
This is also the thing. They allowed our bases to exist there, right? Like, there were treaties and certain things signed. Like, like Iran did say and give warning, like, hey, you keep allowing Israel to fire upon us indiscriminately. Because, like, this is also the other point that I brought up. I was like, Israel was able to pinpoint their scientific and physicist infrastructure. They killed like 30 scientists, top scientists that would have been designing their nuclear weapons, quote unquote. And that was like on Al Jazeera. That was on Israel's own news. So they did this and they killed these people. And then I'm also supposed to believe that they couldn't have pinpointed and done the same fucking thing with the school, right? Like, you couldn't have done a better way than killing all those kids.
From what I understand, that was us that blew up the school, wasn't it?
Well, no, but now this is my other point, because they were saying, well, we give technology, we give munitions to Israel, because they're our ally. Well, does that not mean that we have the same technology that they have, and we have the same fucking abilities, if not more?
We have better technology than they have.
But that's my point, right? So, like, they could have done better, and like, do fucking better, right? Like, if we're gonna sit here and say, like, no, he had to right, no, fucking do better. We've got the best military. Do fucking better. You did shit on that.
Well, this is a problem with war. Like, you can have some of the best shit ever, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with munitions that sometimes miss their target. Or sometimes the intel is wrong and they target the wrong fucking thing.
This is the other thing that I kind of was hoping they would bait me on, but they kind of they wouldn't take this bait. But I was trying to get them into the AI battle. I'm pretty sure I would chalk this
AI
up to
doing
more
the targeting.
Yeah, because I don't think any human being would be
Was that
fucking
using
really cool with that.
What is it? The CHUD or the CHAD system? What's it called that they?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's implemented in a lot more things over
there is this AI system that they use. Let's see if I can find it.
Well, what was the most recent thing that they said they were implementing AI to that the one company freaked out and sued them over? Or I think the U.S. government is now suing them for not allowing them to use their AI or giving them the source code because they didn't want it to kill people.
Oh, well, speaking of source codes.
It was like Anthropic or something.
Anthropic source code just leaked. Their new source code, yeah. Like, this just happened
Cough,
within the
CIA.
last 24 hours. You think CIA made that happen?
Yeah, of course. That was a prevent.
Maybe. Allegedly. Possibly.
Certain lawyerings, allegedly. Cough, CIA.
Right.
Cough.
Interesting.
I can't be, this is the whole thing. I also can't be stupid enough to think that our country is the greatest with military and not think they could have figured out a better way of fucking doing that. You know, like I do think that we've got a fantastic military. I think our boys are trained great, especially like special forces. If most people knew what it took to become special forces, you'd know. But this is the whole thing. We're in the U.S. Our training facilities are mostly here. You have to send people out to the desert, train in the desert, and learn all those tactics. And just like us in Vietnam, we didn't train in the fucking proper jungles for long enough to even be successful over there with our things. You know, our special forces fucked shit up. But we were like the Ho Chi Minh Trail. If you like and now I'm not talking to you, Gabe. I'm just talking to the audience. Just like if you're questioning, like if our role there was successful, like look at the bombing run on Ho Chi Minh, right? And what was the river?
Oh yeah,
the Quang River or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Mekong Delta, right? Like that whole area was fucking destroyed. But what happened was they went underground, and we didn't know about it.
We talked about it before on this show. We talked about how they would, or maybe that was Louise, where the drive to meet numbers. We killed so many soldiers on this day or on this raid. At the end of the day, it caused soldiers and those in charge of soldiers, you know, to kill innocent civilians.
Oh yeah, the psyops. That's when we really employed.
And they kill whole towns.
Well, do you know what? It was like Midnight Vampire. It was something like that, but it was written about in Annie Jacobs' book. And now this gets really fucking wild. Where they would send special forces into like villages, like small normal villages, and they would murder everyone, hang babies from light posts, and then drain people of their blood so it looked like it was a vampire that had done this, right? And then they would play weeping, like they would kidnap women and then record them weeping like, how could you do this? You killed me. And they would play that just for fucking 24 hours, just in the woods outside of these villages' houses,
yeah, fuck with them.
Yeah, like I guess demoralize them or whatever. But like, they would do wild shit like that all the time, and I don't know, like I don't know how much training I would need in order to be able to do that with a clean conscience.
I think it takes about 2 months, and then you can do that with a clear conscience.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It just all those grains and push-ups, just get it right on out of you. All right,
Yep.
I'll never do another push-up again. I'm more of a Pilates guy. But I'll tell you this: never doing a push-up.
Oh man, yeah. What a wild fucking thing, man. The Vietnam one's a trip because it's like you have. I think just another general on his deathbed recently just said, "Yeah, we lied about why we went into Vietnam. We should have never gone into Vietnam." So on and so forth. I was a part of it. Don't ask me to pull up the details because I don't remember the details. But yeah, I think that just happened recently, where a general, one of his deathbed confessions was, "Yeah, we killed a bunch of innocent people and was not good, not good at all, my friend." I'm gonna keep saying this. Y'all are gonna hear me keep saying this. Iran is gonna fight back. They're not going to lay down and then there's going to be some counterinsurgency, right? They're going to fucking fight and they're going to make us kill them. And so you need to think about that before you're like, yeah, fucking,
Well,
let's go in there and get them.
Like if we think about this logically, like what happened, like because we have verifiable evidence through Hillary Clinton's emails and through Hillary Clinton's own word with Gaddafi, right? We went in behind the scenes and installed one of our own. We killed their leader, installed ours, and their entire government went to fucking shit after that. Like it was bad. The people fucking revolted, and it was really, really, really bad for us in that region, and it ruined some things. Like it changed things in Afghanistan. It changed things in just all over the Middle East. Like people saw shit for what it was, even more so than because if you don't think people were talking in the Middle East about what really happened with fucking 9/11 and stuff, they were more on top of it than we were. So this is my point, right? Like, damn, I threw myself off. Shit. What were we talking about right before this?
Well, there's the Russia-Ukraine thing, the drone thing.
No, I had a very specific point I went on a very long tangent about that threw me off. Oh, damn it.
You always do that to yourself, Flack.
Well, I looked down at Donald Trump and it pissed me off.
Well, yes. It's tough to get through. This, by the way, this is only an 18-minute speech. And we're only about 3 or 4 minutes in.
It was Gaddafi and Hillary Clinton. All right. So we have proof that kind of diplomacy doesn't work, and it blows up in our face when we try and play the fuck around, find out card.
Right.
With anyone. No, people don't like. How would we feel if somebody installed a leader from the Middle East and actually killed ours and installed them, and it actually fucking worked? How happy would we be if their CIA bracket did that? Because I don't know, I would be pretty upset. And I'm not military. I'm not any of the other things.
It's just bullshit, man. Because it's like, when you go in there, you definitely don't want to have to fight a war, and you don't want to have to fight a war that you're not sure about. That was the thing after 9/11 was we were all on the same page, and Afghanistan made sense because for a minute that's where he was, but then they turned it into this whole other thing. And I really believe they let him get away in the mountains there in Afghanistan.
Well, how do you explain the CIA training him? Him actually being a CIA operative.
Well, that was to kill Russians.
Yeah, but how do we square that away with him still not working on behalf of the CIA? You know what I mean? And actually believing that there was a passport that landed on the ground unburned. Because I can't let my logic. I can't be stupid.
Well,
to love America. I love America, but I don't love our fucking politicians, and I'm not gonna this is the same reason why I wouldn't send any of our kids to fight a politician's war.
Right. That's the thing. If the politicians want to send their kids, then okay. right? But watch.
Like,
Watch
was
how many
Chelsea?
volunteer.
Has Chelsea Clinton done anything for this country other than allow Ghislaine Maxwell to go to her wedding? No, she hasn't.
I
Not a single
seriously
fucking
doubt.
thing. But how many people have died on behalf of Hillary Clinton herself trying to fucking overthrow Gaddafi? Because we know how many people that is. About 100,000 plus.
Yeah.
Died for Hillary Clinton and the Clinton fucking scumbaggery, right? So
Syria was a fucking mess, dude. And I mean, it's been a mess. But honestly,
we saw he conquered
Syria,
his deathbed. I'll tell you this: Syria, he capitulated. He went into the room just like Iran. He went in and said, "Okay, we'll talk."
Mhm.
And you know what they did? They fucking murdered him 2 days later. And they put it. This is the thing. Not only did they murder him, they filmed it and sent it around and sent it around like a fuck around, find out type of thing. Like, fuck Hillary. She knew about that. She sent the orders for that shit to fucking happen. And we know that because of her shit that got leaked.
Yeah, she did some dirty shit. I mean, you don't have your own server at your house when you're supposed to be working for the state, and then, oops, accidentally delete it when it gets subpoenaed. Nah, she was doing some dirty shit. 100%. Now, I can't say what it was. Maybe
I'll say, if you have any questions, right? If you've got any questions, because I sat through as many of those emails as possible, and I'll tell you this: I was so early on looking at those emails that they were still encrypted, right? You can still read them. All that you would have, like this is what their encryption software was back then, so you couldn't just like index it and then search for words. But hackers are smarter than that, right? So what they did was, it would be like, "What are you doing this afternoon?" But in between the what and the R, it's like WHAT backslash 9361193 backslash whatever the fuck. A ton of things in between, and then without a space, the next word. So whatever software they were using just encrypted shit like that, and then sent it over. So when the emails were all leaked before they had their software go through and patch all that shit, it was still written all like that. Nobody could read it, because nobody bothered to just look at the words that were still visible. And like, I don't know, you play word games and you can figure all that type of shit out. So all that was written. I read through a fucking ton of it. Not all of it, because it's impossible, but I read through as much as I could.
Did she talk about Bill's penis? How hung it is like a horse?
No, but she has a very.
They said I was hung like a horse, honey.
I don't think she enjoyed penis all that much to begin with, because she had a very wonderful relationship with a certain Huma Abedin.
She kind of strikes
Sisters
me.
comes to mind.
Yeah, she kind of strikes me as loving the ladies, which is
one
fine.
doesn't get that
Who
acclimated
cares?
with pantsuits without going to a couple of island parties.
Very
You know what I
true.
mean?
Very true. Very true. And like I said, that's fine. They came up in a different era. They wanted to be involved in politics, and to play the game back then, you had to be the regular married couple. Clearly Trump has broken that mold, so it'll be interesting to see what happens later. But that's the game they were playing. But you're right. I think whatever she was doing, we're not going to know about a lot of it, because she did manage to get rid of a lot of it.
But now I'm going to apologize for immediately coming on and berating everybody with my hate speech towards the Clintons. So if you would like to play that now, I'll shut the hell up.
I am
apologize.
not going to defend the Clintons. I promise you that, because they're just as bad as this guy we're looking at right now. And in my opinion, so is Obama. Like, Obama killed more people with drones than Obama killed an American citizen with a fucking drone.
Well, this is what I think Obama was, right? Like, he was the Trojan horse to get in the things that the Clintons thought they wouldn't be able to get away with a typical Democrat, right? Because it is the whole thing. Like, the Democrats all through the 80s, and when punk rock was a big whole huge thing, was Democrats were anti-war, right? And then once you got like the war mongers in there after 9/11, you had a big push from the left for war all of a sudden. And to me, it just didn't make sense because I love the Dead Kennedys, man. Listen to Cambodia, listen to any number of songs from them, and they'll explain exactly how much hate should be lobbed at the 80s and 90s politicians for all the fucking war they got us into in the Middle East. This is before 9/11.
It's nothing compared to these guys.
Yeah, but they sell you on peace and prosperity. Like Trump got in there on anti-war rhetoric, so to hear, because this is the whole thing. Remember, he was like, it's a shame that the FBI under Biden was looking into the PTA, like parents from the PTA. And also, it was a shame that they were looking into Catholics. It was also a shame that they were looking into the anti-war crowd. Because remember that during Biden, it was coined as the anti-war crazies. Where it's like,
right.
How could you be anti-war and crazy? You're not, like, that's a good crazy to me. You're not making for violence. The bad crazies are the ones that are looking for violence.
Well, I hate this fucking answer, but it's because, well, a big part of it is the fact that all of these voters are employed at these war factories that make shit that kills people. Like, if you look at the defense industry over the last 20, 30 years, the amount of money, the influx in money that's come into the defense industry since 9/11, fucking insanity, dude. Like, it has built entire towns.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's the biggest shame to me, right? Like, I wonder if us persistent nosies, right, like really fucked up their cocaine shit in Nicaragua and stuff, to where, like, oh man, we really painted them into a corner because now they can't easily sneak the cocaine they were making so much money for the black budget projects on. Now it just comes out in different ways. They needed that money for something, so okay, we had to make a really good excuse for that, and it's only logic. Like, I'm not trying to. I guess I could lay some evidence out, but I'm not trying to take us on that kind of tangent. But like you just get a feeling of like crying wolf. Like you keep crying this nuclear wolf from Iran, but like Israel has been the kind of like the elephant in the room with the nuclear weapons that they stole from us that we had to ignore. Right, like that was a contention at one point, and then we just ignored it.
Right.
So there will always be some uncertainty about how quickly he can acquire a nuclear weapon, but we don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud.
Sounds familiar, right? We don't want the proof to be in the form of a mushroom cloud. Be afraid. Ooh, they're coming to get you. Oh,
this
man.
recent speech by the...
That was the wrong one. I'm sorry, y'all. Get this off of the screen. Here we go. We needed the Trump speech. Okay, here we go. We're going to make it through this, folks. I swear. We're at the 3-minute, 20-second mark. We've got less than 15 minutes to go. We can do this.
Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel. something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their...
Okay, so he just said their government killed 45,000 people during protests. Is that true? That's fucking crazy. Okay, let me take a look. Let me see if I can fact check that here. So he said they were killed during a demonstration. Let's check the facts here. Doing some digging, because that's like crazy. Oh, interesting. So it's not a settled fact. There were anti-government protests this year in Iran. Some reports and leaked data-based estimates said the regime may have killed 30,000 to 36,500 people during the crackdown, but that refers to a broader nationwide repression, not one single demonstration. And the numbers are still disputed. Iran's own official figure was far lower, around 3,100, while Amnesty and UN-linked reporting cited figures in the thousands and said the real toll could be much higher. So,
all right, hello, I'm back.
Pretty basic political answer. He's saying it like it's fact, but it's definitely not a fact. In a country full of, well, let me just get that to you here.
I'm not gonna lie, I got like 3 seconds in. I wanted to chime in. I decided to walk away. I said, let me let this play for a second because I'm gonna have a tism and I'm not gonna give the clipmongers any fuel, you know?
Ah, fuck them. 93 million people live in Iran, y'all. 93 million people. That's a lot of people. That's not like Cuba or El Salvador. It's a lot of fucking people.
Can we lighten the mood and just try to imagine 93 million people living in Cuba? And like everyone would have a fucking skyscraper.
It'd have to be like what was that? Ready Player One, where they're like living on top of each other.
Oh yeah, and then skyscrapers, you know, ones that are attached to drones. Okay, all right, enough fantasy. Back to reality.
Campaigns of terror,
Is this
coercion,
reality?
conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents.
Form of a mushroom cloud.
The situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first, and perhaps most importantly, I killed General
Soleimani pause it.
In my first term.
I made
he was an evil genius.
I made a mistake. I decided to listen that time instead of running into the next room screaming. And there's something I got to point out now. Logic is coming in. Ready, folks? Who has made the nuclear threat? What's a Samson option, right? It's like, fuck everybody, we're blowing up everything, right? I think that's Israel. That's not Iran, right? Israel stole our nukes.
Well, that's
not
us.
Iran. You know? Well, yeah, but we're like, well, I don't know, because I don't think we do that. I think we do a less heartless approach of we'll just do one and maybe another, and then we'll wait and see. like I think maybe behind the scenes, COG wise, like a continuation of government, like a deep state thing. I think, yeah, maybe there's probably a Samson option on the table. But like Israel's openly said it, and Israel has pointed that everywhere. Like we are going to
Samson
do this, and if you
option,
don't,
that's like you just wipe out the world, right?
yeah, like either you get involved or we're going to do this. And I mean, like it's called the Samson option because it's a part of their military doctrine at some point or other.
Yeah. It's just so interesting that of all the presidents they were able to get to go for this, it was this guy. I just would have never thought. He was so like anti-Middle East war. I thought we'd see probably some other bad decisions, but this is just like, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, I've been hearing about this most of my life. I mean, when I was in the service, it was something that would get talked about here and there. And like, they have been trying to push this forever. And they finally got a guy to go for it.
Genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash. Took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had.
$30 trillion
Flew it
are
by
missing
airplanes in an
from the
attempt
Pentagon
to buy their
coffers. Go fuck
respect and
yourself,
loyalty, but
Donald.
it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. Would have been a different world.
They would have had all the nukes. They would have blown up everything. All of it.
There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion.
Do they?
There is a go.
Do they
go
really
look at
want
Gaza.
people? Do they really think that a country with 90 million people, that's like basically a giant religious cult, wants to blow up the whole world? That's what, like, seriously?
Then no one will believe their religious cult.
They can't even figure out how to make the fucking thing.
Like this is also the thing too, right? Like, look at Gaza, man. That's what Israel does to itself. Like, why would you want fucking that to be done all over the place? Like,
Right.
like I can't ignore who was it? Dave Smith and what's his name? Douglas Murray did their little debate, and I was like, all right, let me do some fact checking into all this crazy shit over there with Gaza, and the actual footage was absolutely insane. Like it looked like they had just been like, okay, let's level everything. Let's just systematically level everything, and then at one point they were. They just had bulldozers just taking.
They would send
shit
in a
out
drone that would say, hey, we're about to blow up this entire block. You might want to leave. And they would just level the entire block. It was fucking crazy. I remember seeing video of buildings just collapsing, crashing, in the middle of the city. Like, Jesus.
The worst part is like it seems like they really just want to build an oasis over there to make a bunch of fucking money, right? Like that's what Donald and these new investors
they must have
right?
promised. Yeah, they must have promised the Don a good deal over there.
It's the fucking desert, right? Like there's room everywhere where no one has their religious relics and shit. Like the reason why the Palestinians are pretty fucking pissed off is because, like, just like the Israelis are claiming. This is our sanctioned religious land. The other ones are doing the same.
Right. Oh yeah. Tales all this time, man. This cabinet though is 100% pro-Israel. Like, if you remember his first term, they went and didn't they declare that? Oh God, what was it? Jerusalem belonged to Israel. That was, and that was not a declaration that we had made before. And how seriously could we be taking it if we sent Jared Kushner over there to broker peace in the Middle East? And then you look at pictures of Gaza. It's a bang up job you guys did over there.
Can we just pull one up if possible? Just because, like, to have that at least in just as a visual, so people can understand why we're Karening so hard right now. Like, because this isn't even this. I don't consider virtue signaling because this is a war crime, and it is our duty to not be good men sitting by to mention it, right? Like the ongoing joke that I have with everyone. I wouldn't even get into it, but I have many Jewish friends, dated a few Jewish girls, got no problem with the Jewish people. My problem is with the Israeli state, and there is a very big separation. So I feel like that needs to be said. We can't be good men that sit by and allow atrocities and things to happen, especially in the U.S. You know how, like, we had the school with our own military. Like, it needs calling out. You know, and as much as I like to be a funny guy on, like, I don't know, the rest of my existence on this planet, I need to be serious when time comes. You know, same with you. Like, I commend you for doing the right thing, especially have gone through the military and being able to say, like, no, I'm not cool with this. This ain't fucking cool. And like, you, just like me, were willing to give Trump a shot. Like, okay, you're going after Epstein, we'll give you a shot. You're going after, like, let's just go through the list too, because it'll take me 3 seconds.
End war.
Fort Knox, end war.
Fix immigration.
Dealing with the corruption from the CIA with the USAID, the Doge shit, right? Epstein. None of those things got fucking fixed. In fact, he turned tail on all of them the second that anybody gave him any pushback.
Dude, it was the same, and you know what? It was the same thing with Obama. He kept the same people running Wall Street, just changed the names. Same people, though. He cut Guantanamo open. He killed more people with drones than anybody ever before him. Like, it was the same thing. That's what they all do. They promise one thing, they get it, and it's funny that we're sitting here acting surprised, right? Oh my God, a politician lied to me. But it is so frustrating because he was supposed to be not like that, right? Like, he was supposed to be not part of that system.
I agree very much, but
yeah, it's very frustrating. But yeah, there's Gaza 2023 versus 2025. Just a little bit of a difference, right? Maybe a few attacks.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, there's a lot of civilians, like, under that rubble that's then, like, because one of the things that people would report out of there was the smell of the decomposing.
I'm sure. Yeah.
People who lived there. And like, I will say this for Israel's army, they're efficient because they don't care about taking out some of their own in order to prove a point, which is disgusting to me because like, I don't know. I just don't want to get into that aspect. It's a little too dark, but
it's crazy. It's disgusting and it's crazy. And the thing about Iran is that it's not our fucking fight. And that's why it bothers me, because it's like, we have given that country more than enough weapons, more than enough money, more than enough training to do whatever they need to do to deal with Iran. We don't need to be a part of it. We don't. We are jumping in front of them voluntarily when we don't need to. It is not our fight. Does Iran hate the U.S. or Israel? They hate fucking Israel.
It's also like bully shit too. Like we don't like. I'm not a big fan of Taylor Lorenz because she would go to people's house and pick on them, right? And with news cameras, and she'd go to your house, right?
Okay.
And dox the shit out of you by going to your fucking house, showing your address, whatever. With like CNN, and I think she was actually with the Washington Post. But she would go with that. And then she would complain when people doxed her and made fun of her on the internet. And it was like, lady, you're showing up to everyone's fucking house with a camera crew who gave you bad comments online. Like, fuck off. Who do you think you are? You know, to then complain they did it to you, you know, like it's the same thing with Israel. Israel's like throwing rocks at people and then complaining when they're going like, hey, stop throwing rocks. Like, I'm going to throw a rock at you. And then they go, look, this guy's trying to throw a rock at me. ignoring the rock that they just threw a minute ago.
Yes.
You know?
And they have violated so many, like they've just bombed Syria just because, they've bombed Turkey because they're worried about some missile sites. Like they do all that without anybody's permission. They don't get permission of NATO or the UN or United States. They just do it. So like, why are we fighting their fucking fight? I'm not saying we shouldn't support them and they shouldn't be an ally. But they didn't exactly send soldiers to the front lines of Iraq.
This is the thing too, right? Like our intelligence agencies like the CIA, the Pentagon, didn't like having Israeli attaches and things in their facilities because when they would leave, there would be bugs all over the place. And I don't mean like a creepy curly bugs, but like, dude, replete with everything. They gave all the gifts would have like 5 or 6 bugs in them. You know what I mean? For whatever different types of things. But like, it got so bad that they were like, nope, don't let them in anymore because every time they fucking leave, we got to do a whole sweep of the goddamn building. You know, like, this is your friend. Like, imagine your friend comes over and you start to find out he just has left microphones all over. And now this is a guy who you like you're like, okay, things are getting a little sketchy on the block. We've got Crazy Terry across the street who like just gets drunk, gets fucked up. So this is the guy you want to call in case shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? But you've noticed every time you call him when you both hear Crazy Terry drunk in the street, he just turned his lights off. I heard the padlocks on his door lock. You know, like, yeah, fucking now it's me and Crazy Terry.
Right,
like,
now
come
you're
on
fucked.
now. Yep, well, Crazy Terry has a samurai sword. I don't think he's sharpened it. And he also doesn't know how to use it, which is the scary part.
Stole, you might have a chance. If it's stole, you might be okay. Oh, man. Okay, let's get back to this peckerhead.
Opinion of a lot of great experts. Had I not terminated that terrible deal, and I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful
Well, it was a
B-2
midnight. You couldn't
bombers
see
performed magnificently.
Like he knows that
totally
it's at night, right?
obliterated
It's
those
called
nuclear
Midnight
sites.
Bomber. You can't see it. That's the whole point. Fucking asshole. No one's ever seen it. No one has ever seen this bombing run because it was at midnight. It was so dark. You don't understand.
Beautiful B2s. They would have never invented the B2 if it wasn't for me. I had that idea back in the 70s. I said you need a huge bomber.
The regime then
Huge.
sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland.
Is that what we're concerned about?
Soon.
A stockpile of ballistic missiles? We're going to
supposedly
just
they couldn't
start
get
attacking
to-
every country now because every country has a stockpile of ballistic missiles?
Well, is there any way we can figure out the my microwave is going crazy. Can we Google the distance between Diego Garcia and Iran and then the U.S. and Iran, right? Because they couldn't make it to Diego Garcia if we were to believe that was them that launched something at Diego.
And we took out their navy, so they couldn't send a ship over closer.
Yep. So like, I don't think they could. I don't think, like that's kind of always been the biggest problem with long range intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs.
Yes, but they don't have those. They have a stockpile of ballistic missiles that cannot travel 7,000 miles to the United States.
We're lucky they haven't figured out
They can
the
travel to
grenade
Israel.
slingshot. You know what I mean? Like once they figured out the grenade slingshot trick, we're fucked, right? Because then they just get a bigger slingshot And we know scale. Listen, if we take scalar physics into
I read the Bible. I know all about David, Goliath, and the slingshot.
You just make it bigger, and it goes a bit farther. So
the math checks out. Look, ballistic missiles are a threat to Israel. Very true, but they're not a threat to us.
He said, you know what he said? Homeland. Who's homeland? Though tricky politician talk. You got to think now. Okay, maybe he's not talking about our homeland. Maybe he's talking about his sweet benefactor Pam Adelson, her homeland, or Miriam Adelson, I should say. Miriam Adelson, who gave him $106 million, most beautiful $106 million donation he's ever seen. Made his boner so hard, so folks.
Huge,
so nice,
so huge,
so beautiful, such a beautiful boner. But yeah, maybe it's Miriam's, Mr. Miriam Adelson's little, such beautiful homeland. Fucking cunt. I'm sorry, hard to see. Man. I'm gonna take a walk.
All right, you take a walk. We're gonna let the man finish here, maybe, unless I interrupt and go crazy. Europe and virtually any other place on earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible. And they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when
we know for like a second there, he totally forgot whose nuclear weapon he was talking about. He thought it was ours for a second. He was like, it's the most beautiful nuclear weapon. Wait, sucks. The shitty nuke.
We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran.
Oh, no, never mind.
This past month,
he's only sending 13 people over there. That's it. The beautiful American warriors.
It's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, please, sir, please finish the job, every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion.
It's not really that
and
hard.
the highest stock
It's the
market
desert.
ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming.
Okay, pause it.
They've
Pause
never
it, pause it,
imagined
pause
it.
it.
Remember, because of our drill baby drill program, America.
Fuck off, cunt face. So now the problem I see with that is like he's talking about like I don't know what can we say like I don't know, at least 3,000-year-old civilization people. You know,
Who's he
like,
talking about? What?
Iran. He's talking about wiping
Oh.
a group of people off the face of the earth because it's a tumor that's been festering for their
Persia.
entire existence. And where I'm like, you know, that whole area has kind of been like the start of, like, it's where the Bible came from. It's where Nazareth, Jesus, the Nazarene. He's. Oh yeah, it just pisses me off because you're fucking wiping that entire place off the face of the earth in the name of God, right? But you're removing the footprint of God, the only remaining footprint that there is a tangible connection to the Bible. You know, you're gonna fucking wipe that out because, like, let's not forget, Iraq also had a ton of religious fucking sites that were absolutely flattened.
Well, I tried to get my AI to tell me how many times Trump has said the phrase "we're the hottest country" since he's been president again. But basically, it can't do it. It can't figure it out.
Too many times. It's the hottest
It's
search.
like,
Too many
I can't
times.
compute it. I can't.
It's so great. It's so good. Too many
Need
times.
advanced trigonometry. What's funny is it was I think it was like the King of Saud or the Prince of Saud that said that to him. And like ever since, he's repeated it 158,952,000 times.
It's also the amount of lies he told in this one thing anyway.
Under my leadership, we're #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's
talking about the
policies, we
refinement?
produce more oil
Because
and gas than Saudi Arabia
to produce
and Russia
oil isn't
combined.
oil like
Think of
fucking
that, Saudi
millions
Arabia
of years
and Russia
old.
combined.
I mean, that's where
And
we
that-
got the fallacy of it being a fossil fuel, is that it's millions of years old, and the deposits that we have are the one and only deposits we get for now and in time forever.
No, that's the spice from Dune.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. We're the hottest country, dude.
Number will soon be
Like
substantially
totes
higher
hot. He
than
sounds like
that.
Paris Hilton when he says
There's
it.
no country
The hottest
like
country.
us anywhere in the world, and
So
we're
hot.
in great shape for the future.
You said it
the United
again.
States imports almost no oil
We're
through
like
the
so hot,
Hormuz
Donald.
Strait,
This is like hot.
and won't be
So
taking any
hot.
in the future. We don't need it.
TMs.
We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily.
See, this is what a guy that never spent a day in the service doesn't realize. You break it, you fucking bought it. That's why we were in Afghanistan for 20 plus years. You break it, you buy it. That's why we're in Iraq for fucking 20 years.
I wish. I hope, okay, like, 'cause that would be great. If I would accept that. If Hillary had come out and said, like, all right, we kind of fucked up a little bit. We came, we saw, we fucking killed his ass, and now we've got to kind of just
Clean
stay
up the
here
mess.
because, like, that's like I feel like what they tried to sell us on, but like I know that's what they intended. They intended chaos because that's one of the CIA's main things. Like that's what they do with modern drug stuff in Mexico, right? What they try to do is disrupt. If they can disrupt and cause a hiccup, that means they can take advantage of that hiccup and fuck around some more. You know, like doing that to a
The heat's
government.
getting turned up on Epstein.
I don't
War?
think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I think the heat's getting cooled down on Epstein, fucking big time.
Because of the fucking war. Because of the fucking war, y'all. What? Just think about it. How many times? Like, it's all that was on the media. Epstein. And since Iran has started, how often do you hear about Epstein now? It's kind of weird, right? How that works. Give it another year of this war. You're going to be like, Epstein who? Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was some weird shit, right? That's what's going to happen. It's amazing how it's like they're like magicians. It's incredible.
We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. Number one, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And number two, build up some delayed courage.
Wait, if we have so much oil, then how come gas is like $6 a gallon right now? Someone, please. Is there anybody in here that is good at economics? Because if it's so good, we're trying to sell it. Why is the price of gas going up?
You gotta give money to make money, right?
Oh, I gotta give money for them to make money. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's how it always
That's usually how it works.
This prick's governmental salary is only paid by our pockets, you know? Like, same thing with every other shitbag politician that wants us to get into war. So they can get the little back end, possibly, maybe on the latter end, if we don't all die in the process.
Right. And listen, if you work for one of these contractors, I don't think you're a bad person. I think you're just a person that's working for one of these contractors. At the same time, though, you have companies like General Dynamics, Boeing, Raytheon, that make literally trillions of dollars with a T. Trillions of dollars over the decades.
Well, do you think, all right, so TPUSA is like a very religious organization, especially with the Jesus.
The Charlie Kirk organization?
Yeah. Right? And they're very big into super supporting Israel for some reason. And they're super into this war, right? Like, do you think that they're going to see the same St. Peter, you know? Like, that's going to be cool with all this warmongering and fucking death of children. You know, the same St. Peter that sees everybody else. You know, because I think they're going to see that guy, especially if they're real fans of Jesus like they claim. I just wonder if they realize that they're going to eventually see their maker, you know, and then see his opinion on the mass culling of children, you know.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, right? And it really can make your head burst because you have these people that say they are, you know, they support the evangelical, you know, Christian groups. But then they go and they commit just terrible acts. And look, everybody's entitled to make a mistake. Okay. If you were a married man and you had an affair on your wife and you faced that like a man and you did everything you could to make it better, made it better, whatever, that's life, right? Like shit happens. Okay. But if you're raw dogging a porn star while your wife is pregnant, that's like next level piece of shit. There's like levels, you know? When you get a father and son plumbing company, the biggest contract they've ever had, a contract that could change their life, and they put all the money forward to install all this piping and all this labor and all these man hours and all this construction, to be told by Trump, I'm not paying you. And after a year of arbitration, the lawyer sits down with you and says, we'll pay you 50% of what we said we'd pay. Take it or leave it.
Then to think the Pentagon, like, if we dip into the UFO research realm for like 2 seconds, we have Michael Schratt, where one of my favorite things that he researches in the UFO community is like the black budget and the budget report that the Pentagon always puts out, right? They pay like $150 for a wrench. They pay $250 for a hammer, the normal hammer that you can get for $5 to $15 at Home Depot, right? Like they're ripping us off every chance they get. Imagine what we don't have the record books to, I'm supposed to expect, like, I'm gonna listen to a group of people who are accepting a $250 fucking hammer. Like you're that gullible to pay that much, even though I know it's corruption that's paying that. But like, I'm supposed to accept that you're fucking dumb enough to get duped at $250 for a hammer, and I'm not supposed to expect you to be a fucking moron and everything else. Like,
well, it's not duped. It's just turning a blind eye to the corruption.
Well, no, they get a dollar back from it, so it's even worse than that. It's like implication in corruption themselves, right? But because that's where the black veil comes in to cover our eyes and our logic, and then they get to go and murder our children. I don't know, man. It's lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of a broken system on top of lies.
I know, dude, and we're only 13 minutes in. We still got 5 minutes to go.
Dude, we're also an hour and 58 minutes into this live. I am so sorry, because I popped in at 30 minutes.
Did you? All right on, man. Thanks for hanging out, dude.
Not right on. I waylaid this so much I can't get through this video. Oh man, he makes me.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Here we go. 5 more minutes. We got this.
Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will.
Okay. I almost died right there, choking, when he said the hard part was done. No, you fucking dumbass. Dropping the bombs, that's the easy part. That's the easy part. This is not the hard part.
Yeah, like we're supposed to believe, like as evolution in military strategy and technology, right? We're supposed to believe that throwing a handful of soldiers, and that's what I mean, like actual soldiers, because we were talking about troops on the ground. Now we're talking about sending
they're there.
Troops
they're there,
to fight a fucking ground war, right? That's supposed to be the easier part in a fucking technological asymmetrical warfare. This is going backwards, and this proves we're fucking losing.
Right. And they're, like I said, they're not going to fucking they're not going to not fight. They're going to fight. They're going to.
And I don't even mean strictly the U.S. losing. I mean like clearly the war that they are fighting there is on its toes, right? It's being backed off. That they're going to have to now, like, they're just throwing numbers at it. Whenever you get to, like, think of this, right? Like you have a troubled relationship. Throwing money at it won't work. having a baby into a troubled relationship only makes it more tumultuous. You move that into then a business, right? If you have a troublesome business, maybe throwing money at a business usually does fix some of the problems. So ignore that one. But throwing humans into a fucking meat grinder is not going to fix shit in a technological war.
No.
Because this is how Iran is going to keep the edge, is with technology. And I don't know if we look at Turkey or any of the other areas in the Middle East, their drones all look like our drones because our fucking military contractors all sell them the same shit without a U.S.
Right.
label on it.
I will tell you this, bro. Like, here's the problem, okay? It's the problem that we had with Iraq and with Donald Rumsfeld. At that time, before he went into Iraq, Chief of Staff of the Army, General Shinseki, looked at Donald Rumsfeld and he said, if you want to take Iraq, really take and secure this country, you're going to need about 800,000 boots on the ground. That's the kind of security force you're going to need. And Rumsfeld said, do it with 80. And he said no. And General Shinseki got let go as the Chief of Staff of the Army. Now, Hegseth just fired the Chief of Staff of the Army. See, the guys in the ties, they don't want to have to they want to be
exactly who. That's Joe Kent?
Yeah, he just let him I don't know, I had it on earlier. But yes, whoever the Chief of Staff of the Army is, he just let him go. We could be looking at a situation where this general told Hegseth, if you want to take Iran and secure a country that has 90 million plus people in it, this is going to require a force that we just simply don't have. We cannot police Iran with our army.
Well, but why is that? Let's just inform people. It's because it's really far away. You don't have manufacturing of your goods there, so it's all going to be having to ship it there and then getting goods from there, which that's a whole different food. Like you're going to piss your entire military off having them eat food that is not anything they're used to, especially like Vietnam. There was a lot of street food that was like scorpions and fucking snakes and shit. I feel bad for the U.S. troops 90% of the times overseas in some of the conditions they're.
That's why they call it service. They don't call it party time.
Oh, touche, sir.
And I get that, but like, if you teach soldiers to fight a certain way, and then it comes time to fight, and you go, oh, you know what? At the last minute, we're going to switch things up. We're going to do it this way.
And that's like one of the best tactics to help your enemy out.
Right.
It's like change horses mid fucking race.
Right.
I know that doesn't really make sense because I don't think they ever really do that. But that's like an old political term.
Well, yeah, that's
fucks everything.
That's the thing. So Shinseki, before Iraq, said we're going to need this many boots on the ground. He gets fired by Rumsfeld. We go into Iraq. We invade Iraq. We don't have the forces there we need. So we're facing IEDs. We're facing entire villages in the middle of the desert in the middle of the summer without electricity. And we have 3 warring religious factions that are literally killing each other off by the thousands. Because we didn't have enough fucking troops. And that was with a military that surrendered within hours. I am telling you all, I will say it 1,000,000 times. That is not going to happen in Iran. They are going to fight. Just like they launched off 1,000,000 missiles once we hit them. They are not going to sit there and not fight for their country. This is Persia. It's called Iran now, but this is Persia. They'll fight with their fucking bare hands. They don't care.
And their whole the term assassination comes from that area. Like we also have to realize they're one of the just when it comes to civilizations and things like that, it's very old and it's been there for a very long time. And if we don't think that they have absolutely mastered the terrain and everything over there militarily, we're not going to win unless we have more drones, which I don't think so, because
what is winning?
I don't know.
What does winning even look like?
I think is what they were looking to do, decimate. I think they'd be happy if they just wiped Iran off the map.
It's crazy, man. It's yeah. I wonder to them what winning looks like.
I'm also worried. This is my deepest, darkest fear with this whole thing, right? What if Israel is tired of looking like they're losing, and while our troops are there, they decide to go the nuclear option. They decide to pull a nuclear fucking thing. There's nothing we can do about that.
Troops there, but it still would be terrible.
They would do it to their own. We have the USS Liberty, because this is kind of also where it started. There was shit that was going on in the 6-Day War. One of our vessels, they thought was relaying some sort of information, maybe. They thought they can use our vessel also, if they never got found out to have blew it up, to weasel us into a war with who they were warring with. And it turns out too many survivors and too many reports had gone out to whatever military apparatus was near there to try and rescue them. So jets took off, and then jets were recalled by the President of the United States at the time. So it's not like ties all the way up to the president from Israel haven't existed for a very long time. That's why there is so much controversy with the Liberty, is pretty much because it was so bad that our government was complicit in the cover-up.
It's disgusting, man. Yeah, so at any rate, the fact that we're looking at invading Iran and Hegseth just fired the chief of staff of the army, if this isn't giving you deja vu of Iraq, I mean, this is going to be a fucking mess. And they're talking about wrapping it up in 4 to 6 weeks, like it's some kind of corporate business venture. No, you just started a fucking war. You think it's going to be done in a month and a half? Are you fucking high? We're going to wrap this up in 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. Just in time for spring sweeps,
Somebody should yell Afghanistan every time he says couple of weeks. Afghanistan.
Just a couple more weeks. He's gonna be on his deathbed. Just a couple more weeks.
20 years. What was it? Just under 20 years, I think. It was probably about 18, but still, if we're to take
a long
our
fucking
strategy
time
and
to
terrain
lose.
and military capability, maybe not so much military capability, because I don't know. Afghanistan did have a pretty, we're going back to the 1950s, when we had a very, very nice visiting policy when it came to Egypt and the Middle East and all those places, right? They had a pretty wacky, cool culture of mounted folks, right? Where it was more Sherpas and shit like that. But still man, do you remember the cool guy with the tattoos on his face, where it was the Farsi tattoos on his face from the Mummy movie with what's his name, Brendan Fraser?
Nah.
And you had the guys from the desert would pop out, and they protected the tomb for the place. They were like a ancient secret military guard for the desert, to make sure nobody woke up the curse. Yeah, something like that. But that's the type of military that they had in ancient times. You know what I mean? It was these dudes with scimitars on horseback that were super quiet. They could fucking assassinate instantly. I mean, I was a nerd and I played a whole lot of the what was it, Assassin's Creed and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, the video game, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of history and a lot of going back and looking at stuff like that. But I don't know, to understand how old that civilization is, to have survived in some way, is it would be a shame to have it wiped out. I don't know, just as a humanitarian.
Well, that's the thing. It's not going to get wiped out. Like the Roman Catholics were talking about wiping out Persia. It's not going to happen, y'all. You could drop a nuke there. They'll survive. I mean, they're a strong people, just like the people here in the States are. We're a strong people, we're relatives of some trailblazing motherfuckers. We're pretty tough here, and they're pretty tough there too. They're raised in the fucking desert and they made it work. So yeah, I mean, look, my stance is just that this is not our fight. It's just simply not our fight. And I don't know why we're in the middle of it. I really don't. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. All right. A couple minutes left. Here we go.
Will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible. They are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great big beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days.
And they're still this organized?
World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days.
Wow.
The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years,
6
5
months
and
and 17 days and 21
Iraq
minutes.
went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated. and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What, you never heard of a nuclear black belt before? You don't, that's why you don't fuck with atomic ninjutsu or karate,
Like,
You're
what?
just-
He's talking like Iran has been threatening to nuke us for like the last 50 years. And
they don't even have it yet.
They don't even have one.
Like he keeps saying they're weeks away, but they don't fucking have one yet. And we're supposed to believe there's an imminent threat, right? So imminent threat means the threat's not there yet. But now what? There's a posthumous threat now. Now the threat has already happened, even though he said it hasn't happened yet.
Dude, just like there are so many other options other than blowing shit up we could have done to derail that nuclear program. Like, put a virus in their software and hardware like we did last time that derailed them for almost 20 years. Like, we are fully capable of doing all kinds of shit that would fuck up this program that doesn't involve shooting Tomahawk missiles into civilian neighborhoods. Y'all understand? Like, we blew up a fucking school. Could you imagine? You send your kid to school and, oh, we're sorry, Iran blew up that school today. They meant to hit another target, but bad intel. Sorry about that. The fuck, man.
Angering and fucking punching holes in everything I own right now.
It's crazy, dude. And then you hear this guy talk like like we're just doing a bang-up job.
Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
Good night. Jesus, bro. Well,
I don't know if we can, with a clear conscience, call it good, but it is nighttime somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we're fucked. Pretty much. Not like we're fucked like Iran's going to come and take over the United States, but we're fucked as in this is going to negatively impact the economy. Gas prices are already higher. We've already lost American lives in this fucking skirmish, despite total domination of Iran. And if we send in ground troops...
Beautiful domination.
Yeah, if we send in ground troops, the news is going to get worse. And what was really fucked up was he's sitting there saying how long these other wars lasted, right? Iraq, this many years. Afghanistan, this many years. Vietnam, this many years. Iran has only been 32 days. So he's like setting the standard. Like, even if this goes for a few years, until the end of my presidency, hey, it's still going to be better than these other wars that took 10, 20 years.
It really sucks for you military boys, right? Like, you sign up and you get like a paycheck or whatever for doing a fucking getting a way less paycheck than you fucking should get. But you don't get to enjoy and spend that for a good 15 years before having to put your life on the line for it. you know, because like that is the shit thing is like you could die, and like the benefit is it goes to, at least to your family, but like. Oh, to think about the corruption behind where these wars start, you know, for like I don't know, man. The silver lining to be like, okay, at least I'm getting paid for the service. To then have like that taken away from you too, like I don't know, man. There's just so many downsides to fucking every part of this.
Yeah, dude, it's all bad from every angle. Again, like always will always support our men and women in uniform, because they don't have a choice. They don't get to say yes or no or this is what I think about this, right? Like their job is to go and do. But God damn it, like this is not what Trump said a Trump presidency was going to be.
I've got an idea, right? Like, so what we should do is get their best military strategist in the world, right? And then we sit that person in front of a laptop with like the best AI in the world, and we go like, all right, you go to town writing in all your best stats, okay, and your best military strategy, and then we're gonna fucking do the same with our best, super, most awesome, fuck you, humans AI, right? And like then we're gonna have our guy going popping all our stats and all our cool space weapons and shit, right? And then we go attack each other, AI, and then boom, our war is done. Nobody's fucking dead, and we just use this AI that's supposed to revolutionize war. Why has nobody thought of that? A fucking battleship, electric battleship. I played this game in 1990 fucking 5, and we can't do that now, where it's a hypothetical war and nobody's got to fucking die. You can't pump your shit into the AI. Like, this is the whole thing. Put the ideology in. Should a child ever die because of a dumb fuck politician? The answer is no, never. Right? Why do we need an AI to tell you that? I'll tell you that right now. Fuck off with this war. And oh my God. I'm sorry. I know we finished now, but
No, you're right, buddy. You're right.
We're supposed to be the smart fucking tech people, you know, like. But they why is our beautiful tech being brought into fucking murdering people? You know,
That's what I was saying. Like but it's just humans. Like look at innovation, not just the last 50 years. Look at innovations for the last 2,000 years. Every time there's some crazy innovation, it is typically to do with killing someone.
Yeah.
Aside from the wheel, I don't know.
Oh, you don't understand. The first wheel that was ever made was 30 feet tall. It squished 3 people when they let it
see?
loose.
Even the fucking wheel. Like, can't win.
Well, it was only because the military built it and they had the 3 guys stand in front. They needed to see how many people the wheel could run over in case of war.
Yep,
but
exactly.
But still, I think the point stands.
Well, they didn't have crash test dummies back then, so, you know.
Somebody
had to sacrifice for the tribe.
You know, those were invented specifically for Roswell. I swear to God, I think that was their excuse. They were like, no, we needed them for the Roswell tests. So we had them.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, what a week. So I would imagine my next news update, I'm going to guess that, hey, we're going to be talking about Iran because this shit is going to be going on forever. Like 4 to 6 weeks. Folks, like read a history book or better yet, because just ask your AI, hey, how long, when the U.S. starts a skirmish in the Middle East, how long are we usually there for? Just ask it that. Yeah.
You're lucky it didn't go like the last time. I hear it used to take like 40 years of traveling around to even find shit in the desert back in the day, right? So like at least we got that for us now. It doesn't take that long to just get there. But no, I joke, people, but the point still stands. You know, like it's not going to be a short one, no matter how much he claims it's going to be.
No fucking way. Plus, like, if we keep killing their leaders, we're not going to have anybody to negotiate with. Like, for some reason, they think, it must be the Pentagon telling Trump this. If they kill the leader, the military is going to fall in line. But as you've seen, they kill the leader, they just go to the next. The military keeps firing off the missiles.
And the military got way angrier. They were pissed.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Like, well, that's like, man. It kind of goes back to the whole, like, we're pissing off an entire generation, right? Because we're killing their fathers and things, and we're showing them what we're capable of with
once again in the Middle East.
And we're creating a whole new generation of people who is going to hold a grudge. Like, at the very least, this is a grudge. You know, like, imagine you and a friend get upset with each other, and it turns into a 2 or 3 year grudge. That's one person on one person without death being involved. A grudge that's hard to fix. What about if this person killed your father? You know, like, it hurts a little bit more when it's that fucking personal, you know?
The Boston bombings. Just research why those kids did that.
And now, before I want anyone to say that I'm being a little insensitive to our own people, like, I understand the propaganda arm over there, but what happens when you give them all the ammunition that they need to propagandize people?
Right.
Like, I'm not saying they're right in anything. I've never said they were right in any of this. I just said this isn't our war. You know, I know they pull shit on us, and they have in the past, but, like, how many times were we over there fucking around to where I know that there's so many things undisclosed with, like, militarily wise, that we don't know all the shit going on over there. But are we going to continue it? Because we can either do the smart thing of, like, are we going to continue the mistake and make it much, much worse for future generations? Or are we going to finally cut our shit and at least fix the problem or address the fucking problem?
And you have to wonder, you know, of all the places we could have found for the Jewish people, we had to stick them right in the middle of the most hotly contested piece of real estate for the last 3,000 years. What up, Gray Owl? I see you, buddy. Nice to have you here. Yeah, it's just like, since that land has been there, people have been shedding blood over it, calling it the Holy Land. And so, you know, after World War II, why did we decide, you know what? Let's put them right there in the middle of it. It's their land anyway, says the Bible. I mean, what the fuck, dude? It's like a 20th century version of the Holy Crusades, right? We didn't go in there and slaughter all the Palestinians. I mean, we have now. But we dropped them right off in the middle of that. And all the Palestinians, I don't know. Fuck y'all.
This is the thing too, right? Like, the Palestinians didn't immediately start murdering and massacring people.
No. They wanted it. Yes,
they
wanted
very
a two-state.
fucking nice. I'll admit that. They were not very nice at first.
Right.
You know, but then they took them in. They allowed them to settle and do certain things. And then it just grew. Like, if you look at how big Palestine was compared to the rest of the region, and then just over time, where Israel has now taken over. It started out, I think, it was 15%, and now they have like 75% of the region. Like, you can't ignore shit like that and be like, no, that's their God-given right. Since when does, like, well, actually, I know. You know what? I'm going to stop saying this because I've just been slapped with reality by thinking of what happened with America, where, like, there were people here, and then settlers came and was like, no, this is totally us, and you need to fuck off. Here's a couple casinos, you know, like, I don't know. That seems to be how it works in history. I'm just naive.
I love Grail's comment. So goddamn cold up my way today. I saw a politician and who put his hands in his own pockets.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah,
I like it.
that's about right. Yeah, man. So Bondi's gone, and Chief of Staff of the Army gone, says Hegseth. And the replacements, I don't know who the replacement for Chief of Staff of the Army is going to be yet. I don't know who they're going to promote. But Bondi is being replaced, at least temporarily, by Trump's own personal lawyer. No reason to worry about that. I mean, that just puts Trump's personal lawyer in charge of the Epstein files. I can't see any conflict there. Do you?
No, clearly not.
Seems legit.
Definitely not. I don't know even why we're thinking about it or mentioning it.
Should completely be on the up and up. I've never had a politician lie to me before.
Yep. Do you get the picture in your mind of the dog sitting next to the flaming room, just going like everything's fine? It's all fine. Everything's fine. I feel like that right now, like with my back on fire. Just like it's okay. Everything's fine.
You know what's crazy, dude? All the news. Every time I do the news, it's like this. It's like fucking. All of a sudden, I'm thinking about my mortality and, the war between. Let's not sugarcoat it. Like, there's been a war between Eastern and Western philosophy for a long fucking time, in one way or another, since there's been an East and a West philosophy. Like, it's always going to be there. And we took one of the most, westernized type cultures and stuck them right in the middle of this hotbed where Eastern philosophy dominates. And it's also what did we think was going to happen?
It's also very obvious. It's very hot. It's the Middle East. You fucking lunatics. A joke, but it just take a little trip on Google Earth, right? You're going to notice something about there. And there's like large fucking swaths of land that are empty and vast and empty and empty and vast and empty and vast. I can't describe how empty the fucking world is over there. To think that 93 million people live in Iraq, or Iran, I mean.
Iran, yeah.
Is insane to me because just the amount of concentration of people there compared to how much empty land is. I know why it is. It's the water systems right there. It's the irrigation, everything makes sense for it. But just to think that the amount of contention for the narrow strip by that river, to think that once you go over in maybe I'd say 40 miles inward, there's absolutely fucking nothing. Maybe this is also the other thing. Like, there's such an old civilization there that they got all throughout the desert. You know what I mean? The only reason why there were random oases that were kept were because there were irrigation systems. There were massive trade routes that followed along water canals. That were made. So you can clearly bring water way the fuck inland from the sea over there. Why not do it? Why? I don't know. We have so many billions of dollars. Like, that would have been a really cool way to acclimate themselves with those people, right? We go, hey, here's $50 million to work on an aqueduct to get water inland. You have money for your people. We have water for our infrastructure for the new civilization that will then buy shit from you to resupply the new civilization. Like, there's ways to actually make it work, and it makes everybody fucking happy. But they chose the most contentious way so that we can loosh farm them ever since.
Well, yeah, and it's so that the 1% can squeeze all the money to the top. I mean, that's what they do every time. It has nothing to do with... It's like Shakespearean almost. They get in power by telling us they have our best interests at heart, and then they get in power and they do everything they can against our best interests for their own personal interests. It happens every time. And like, to not see it gonna happen, it's obvious it was gonna happen with Trump. He's one of the most selfish individuals on the fucking planet. Of course, this was gonna happen.
Yeah,
of course.
And you know what makes me happy is like because I'm a man and I get to dictate my life. I don't have to wait till that Cyndi Lauper song, like it's my birthday, I'll cry if I want to type of thing. You know, I don't have to wait till my birthday. I could cry right now a little bit. I can have myself a little nice, little tough little man cry.
Oh,
That's
man.
the spin I'm putting it on anyway, because I'm gonna have a fucking cry about this. I'm gonna pull out half the hair that I have left from the beginning half of this episode that I already pulled out. You know, like we'll see where this goes.
Yeah.
The shame spirals should start now.
Pray for the troops, y'all. Pray for the men and women out there. If you got a friend, a family member, if you are out there, be safe. Stay alert, stay alive, all that good stuff. Sucks, man. Fucking sucks. But
yeah, and I got friends. I got fucking friends that are going to be going over there. You know, like I'm only being vocal on behalf of everyone's fucking part, right? Because I wouldn't like the same things being done to us.
Yeah.
So I've got friends going over there. So bless them. I hope everything goes to fucking plan.
Me too, man.
You know, like that's all I can say is like fucking. I hope you guys are all right and you get everything that is fucking necessary to keep your asses safe.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's what Rumsfeld figured out is that, we can't win hearts and minds with Tomahawk missiles, right? We can't get these people to stop fighting and attacking us and calling us the enemy if we keep acting like the enemy. And that's why the last general, chief of staff of the army, got fired, because he said we needed more boots on the grounds in Iraq. And I will not be surprised if this general writes a book and he says the same thing.
I'm thinking about it now, and it is kind of funny. Like, imagine a war general who's like, "Hey, dude, we should try peace once in a while." Like, oh, I love it. I love it. But
No, it won't be that.
Some would hate it. You know,
it won't be that. It won't be that. It will be because I guarantee you, he'll write a book or something, and it's gonna be because they didn't want as many boots on the ground as he was saying they were going to need. I would bet.
That's
10 to 1.
Well, you know what's funny? It's like I would have gone way more heavy-handed on like he would have been way more vocal, but that could have just been, oh man, you think it was that soft of a
100%?
Just like these are the numbers that'll win us this war, and they're like, we don't like that. Get a better numbers guy in here,
and he's like, no,
man,
yeah.
That sucks.
It's the chief of staff of the army. He's the one that tells them the forces they're going to need to accomplish what they want to accomplish. And if he says you're going to need this number of troops, and they go, no, we want to do it with this number of troops, and he says we can't do it with that number of troops, they go, you're fired.
Like, because I'm just thinking about that, and like, because I haven't served military time, so like I'm thinking about that. Like, if I worked at a job, right? My job was risk assessment, right? And I'm doing my job so fantastically that my numbers are correct. And then I tell you those numbers, and then you go, get a better numbers guy in here who's going to give us the numbers we want. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I hope those numbers aren't people dying in a fucking war at that point, but clearly they are. Yeah. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The reason you need a huge, well, as I said, 93 plus million people. So you're going to need a huge troop force. Like, if you topple a regime and then don't provide any kind of structure for the people, exactly what happened in Iraq is going to happen there. They're going to start killing each other because we've taken out their infrastructure. You know how hot it gets in the desert without AC? Fucking hot.
Pretty flipping hot. I'll tell you this, and it's not the same. This is going to be like a kindergarten version of that. But I went to Arizona, okay? And I made the mistake of being outside after 6 a.m. Okay, and let me tell you how fucking hot it gets. By 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it was like 110 degrees. And this is like I think, the beginning of summer for the rest of the world. But like clearly, Arizona has had summer since 2 million years ago, and it's never left. But dude, it was so hot and so fucking dry that to think that you've not only like, all right, I could imagine trekking through a desert in maybe like I've seen that Pauly Shore film where he in the army now, right? Where
Oh,
you're
right, yeah.
you got to trek, you got to do some shit there. But now imagine it's go time, and you got to now fucking think and keep your ass alive while shooting and running and avoiding death. Like, holy shit! With also, how much is a rud pack and your whole kit carrying around? At least 40 pounds, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, usually about 80.
God damn.
Like if you're full battle rattle, yep.
Yep. See, the only time I ever knew that pain was middle school, when we all had to carry our textbooks around every single day for every class, and I looked like a fucking turtle. All right, that's so lame that I only know that experience and can equate it. But that was like I think about 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And to think that I've now got to carry a fucking 20-pound gun with whatever ammo and shit, and like fire things. That's
Well, only
so
the
much.
big one's 20 pounds. The M4 and M16A2 are between right around 7 pounds, 8 pounds.
All right, that's not too bad. All right, I can totally do that then. All right, fine. I take it all back.
You signing up?
No. But then sand in your eyes, sand in your ass, sand in your toes.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm
man.
just trying to think of all the shit I would find miserable over there. You know.
What they're gonna find miserable if we deploy, there's gonna be a lot of miserable things over there. So let's pray that doesn't happen.
Point out the genius of what I'm trying to do right now is I'm giving the Army all the reasons why they shouldn't draft me at the moment. They're like, this kid complains way too much. He'll bring the morale down of the entire unit.
Hey, you know, they reinstate the draft. It's not gonna matter.
Dude, I'm trying military propaganda on my own over here.
I'll get other people to sign up, and then you don't need me. Oh man,
Sarah Beth, good evening. Good evening.
Yes, that's gonna do it for tonight, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. Flak Magnet, as always, it is a pleasure having you on, sir.
Thank you very much, buddy. It's always fun. Even though this one wasn't exactly the funnest as far as the content we covered,
man,
and I always have a blast with you, dude. You made it fucking tolerable.
The news right now sucks ass, right?
Let's make our own, dude. We're fantasy news next week.
That sounds better.
There we go. But yeah, dude, let's get at it tomorrow if you can.
Absolutely.
Shit, just keep me informed, dude. I'm always ready.
Oh yeah, buddy. We'll get together tomorrow for sure. Everyone else, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.